Here's our rainbow wave. I mean, look at that. Gorgeous colors there. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Cooler Master CK721 65% hybrid wireless mechanical keyboard. I did receive this product to a review from Cooler Master, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. You can see the retail box in packaging right here. Check it out. Everything looks great. They walk you through some of the key features of this mechanical keyboard. So you may notice up at the top, we have the Clicky blue switches. They also have a red linear switch and a brown tactile switch. It's up to you which one you want, depending on the feel that you're after with your keyboard keys. Other than that, I want to point out that this does come in multiple color options. So we have a black version, and you can see we have our white version here. This is a hybrid mechanical keyboard, so we can use it wirelessly with Bluetooth if we want, but we can also connect it directly with USB. This also has built-in RGB, easy-to-use software and on-the-fly controls, universal compatibility with Mac, Windows, Android, you name it, iOS, it's going to work. We have a removable aluminum top plate, which is cool, and a three-way customizable dial on the keyboard. Did I mention it also comes with a really nice wrist rest as well? Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, you can see we have our product literature right here with a helpful guide showing us how to remove the aluminum top cover. Next, you can see we have our quick start guide walking us through everything we need to know about our different wireless setup options. We have Bluetooth, or we can use our USB Type-C cable, or we can use the included USB adapter as well. So you have 3 different connection options there. Then you can see on the next page, we have all of our different keyboard control options. So you can study that depending on what you want to control or do with this keyboard. Next, you can see we have our keycap removal tool right there. We have a USB Type A to USB Type-C adapter. We also have our white braided cable, USB Type-C to USB Type-A. I love the purple accent on there for the Cooler Master colors. Next, you can see our black wrist rest. Check it out. Cooler Master logo and branding. Really nice pad, super comfortable, and it fits flush with our keyboard, which is important. And last but not least, you can see we have the keyboard itself right here. So let's get it into focus. Check that out. It looks great. We got our white keys, our aluminum top cover, our control knob up here as well too, which is really nice. You can also hear how clicky everything is. But again, you can choose which switch you want. They have 3 different options for you. Check it out. From this side, we have our USB Type-C. On this side, we have our USB adapter that's stored in here, so we can remove that and you can pull it out if you want. So if you want to use the USB adapter, you can. Check it out from the front side. Here's the other side, so you have your little knob to select Wi-Fi, USB, or Bluetooth. Check it out from the bottom. Again, we got the Cooler Master logo built right in. We can also adjust the height. We have 2 different options there, so you can see. Pull them both up. Really clever design. Nice rubber feet for it to rest on as well too. But really a nice, small, compact keyboard that's super functional with all of our different connection options. Now let's go ahead, let's get it set up and try it out. So we currently have our keyboard connected to our PC, and we're looking at the Cooler Master Master Plus software to control and configure our CK721 keyboard. So you may notice up at the top we have 5 different tabs that we're gonna go over. The first tab you can see is the wireless tab. We have our battery indicator. We have a complete real-time view and layout of our keyboard. And at the bottom you can see we have our sleep mode settings we can adjust, our low power mode settings, and we also have a reset button as well. Next up, really quickly, let's look at key mapping. So with this tab, you can see a nice color-coded key at the bottom for available, currently assigned, macros, or our disable key. So everything here is green and lit up, so we can choose one. If we want to disable it, we can right here. You can choose and press any key to edit it, save, reset the default, or cancel as needed. So it's very easy to remap your keys. Then we have our macro settings right here. So you can go ahead, you can create a new macro. You can see I have a test one set up right here. And then we can choose our action, right? So we could start hitting record, and then we could type some stuff, and then we're done. And then we can quickly assign, right, to any key there. We could do that. So we could do spacebar. There we go. We have that set up. And again, really easy. If you want to undo it, edit it, or have multiples, you can see how we can then just go about clearing it and deleting everything. So very simple, straightforward, easy to set up macros however you see fit. Then you can see we have our profile settings right here. So we have 4 different profiles, and you can see the different options within each profile that we have. While we're here, I do want to point out, in case you're wondering, depending on the profile you choose, we have different 3-way dial settings. So profile 1, the default, is left turn is volume down, right turn is volume up, and if you press it, that's going to be mute, so it's going to be all of your audio settings. Profile 2 with this is going to be left turn previous track, right turn next track, and press is play or pause, which is pretty cool. Profile 3 is going to be left turn, you're going to reduce brightness, right turn increase brightness, and press to turn on or off the backlight. And profile 4, last but not least, left turn, you can cycle the LED lighting modes. Right turn, also going to cycle those, plus or minus. And then we have our press is going to cycle the lighting mode speed, which is pretty cool. So we can adjust it faster or slower. We have all those settings with our dial right there, which is really cool. Now let's go ahead. We can look at the lighting setting. Let's turn off all the studio lights so we can really focus in on the keyboard and see how it looks. So now with the studio lights off, we can look at the lighting settings right here. Check it out. The keyboard looks great. Very bright, very vivid colors. I really like how everything looks. Now let's go through some of the different color settings. So first up, you can see we can choose preset colors, right? A lot of different options there. They look really nice. We can enter our own values, adjust the brightness, or choose colors from the color wheel. Really up to you and what you want to do and how you want to configure it. Now let's go ahead. Let's look at some of our different LED mode options. So we have static. Here's our rainbow wave. I mean, look at that. Gorgeous colors there. Some of these settings you can see we can tweak the direction. So in this case, we could change the direction if we wanted. So you can see in real time how the keyboard's changing there. We could adjust the speed as well too for this one. Then we have our crosshairs. So check this out. That's pretty cool where you type. Really neat effect. Here's a fade. Let's do the fade. I love that. Just a slow fade. Here's a custom setting. So say there's certain keys you want lit up and in a certain theme or color scheme, you can do that right here. So just select the color that you want. So let's do another purple, and then we can hit the key, and there you go. You can see G is now purple. Then we have stars, so you can see it's twinkling. It's really a really cool effect there. Man, they look so good. Really well thought out. Now we have a color cycle. So for this one, we could slow down the speed if we wanted or speed it up. Really up to you. Look at that though. All right, then we got our breathing here. Again, we can adjust the speed. Then we have ripple. So let's give it a type. Look at that. I love the ripple. Then we got fireball. This one we could adjust the speed. Can't change the direction though. But you can see depending on the side, it's going to go the longest distance, right? If that makes any sense. Water ripple. That one's cool too. Look at that. All right, we have a reactive punch. So wherever you hit, it's going to light up. Now we have snowing. You want some snowfall. Then we have heartbeat. This one's pretty cool. Look at that. That's pretty neat. All right, then we have circle spectrum. So cool. All right, reactive tornado. And you can see we can change the direction on this one if we want to spin the other way. That one is pretty mesmerizing. Then we have some multiplayer ones. Looks like we can add our own. So you can see we could choose what we want. Multi-zone, same thing. We can add what we want there. And then we have a system status. So it looks like we can get a little CPU update right here. Pretty cool. And then we have our EQ. So you can see that one too. So a couple different options there that are pretty unique. Rainbow wave, I mean, they're all so nice, but I mean, just check that out. You can really see the full spectrum of colors right here and get a feel for how vivid and rich they all look on this keyboard. Now let's talk about the clicky switch for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead, let's just pull off one of our keys right here. So there we go. And now you can see we have our blue clicky switch right there. We'll just continue to bring it up to the camera so you guys can see it. Check that out. Pretty cool. So that's our blue clicky switch. They have 3 different options. So again, we have the clicky blue one. They also have a linear red switch, and they have a tactile brown switch. Really, the only difference is the actuation between each key. So 45 Gs for the linear, 60 for our clicky, and 55 for our tactile. So really just choose the one that you prefer, that's most comfortable to you and what you're after. Obviously, if you really want that clicky noise, you're gonna go with the clicky switch here. If you don't, that's fine. You have other options available as well. It's really up to you. And don't forget, we even have different colors too. If you don't like the white, you also have a black version of this keyboard available. So overall, I got a lot of good things to say about this keyboard. It's super customizable and very versatile. Being able to connect to 3 different Bluetooth devices is fantastic, especially depending on your setup. Maybe you have a PC and a Mac and a tablet all together and you want to use the same keyboard. That can be done with this, just with the click of a button to toggle between the different Bluetooth inputs that you want. My favorite feature, hands down, is having that dial to control my audio settings. I actually wish we had a couple more of those dials that we could configure as well. So really a nice, small, compact keyboard that's still super practical and feature rich. The RGB backlight is amazing. Probably the brightest and best RGB backlight that I've seen on a Cooler Master product to date. So really, really well done. With that being said, what would I want to see improved? This is actually more of a software thing within the Master Plus software, but for some reason I can access that software when I'm connected via our hardwire USB cable or using the wireless USB connector. But when I'm connected to my PC via Bluetooth, the keyboard works fine, right? I can type and do everything that I need, but the Master Plus software doesn't recognize the device. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I have everything up to date. So it might just be a limitation within the Master Plus software and Bluetooth. I'm not really sure, but that would be convenient to have the Bluetooth connection to ditch that little USB dongle and still be able to access the Master Plus software. But overall, really a nice keyboard, really well done. Like I said, highly customizable and super versatile.